We are live. We are live. Welcome to College Football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Pflugar. We cover everything in college football because we love everything in college football. And if you do as well, please subscribe to our channel. Smash the like button if you like our content. Share the video with your family and friends. Make sure you ring the notification bell. We could be coming on twice today. Once early on Wednesday. We usually come on early. We could be coming on late tonight. You don't know. You got to ring the notification bell if you want to support this independent national college football rebel outpost with a donation to help us keep the lights on and grow the channel. Just hit that $ where you make your comment, and I will get to super chat as quick as I possibly can. Welcome everybody into the studio that sits on the corner, the very corner of Keith Jackson Parkway and Kurt Gowdy Avenue. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid to become a legend with your comments and with your phone calls. It is July 1st. So that means all the conference realignment that went on in the last phase, it's official now. North Dakota State, the Bison, are a part of the Mountain West Conference. Sacramento Hornets are a part of the MAC Conference. There's lots and lots of examples out there. So congratulations to all the schools joining a new conference beginning on July 1st. Big Ten. Oh, you know what? I forgot to change that. My apologies. My apologies. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. And I got to do it over here as well. My apologies, everybody. The host is going to have to talk to the producer of the show. Probably will suspend him for being an incompetent. There we go. All right. My apologies. Hopefully no one has showed up. Hopefully no one has showed up yet and saw that I was not prepared. Thank you, Mama Duck. What's the defining moment? Well, there are 3 roads to choose from. In both the Big Ten and the SEC, they can't rely on the middle road. The middle road that possibly somehow trusts Congress that if they do pass this bill this time or next year or whenever, that Congress will agree that the Big Ten and the SEC keeps their sovereignty. That's the Big Ten and the SEC. They do not believe that the middle road can be trusted. They cannot take the middle road. So you've got 2 other roads to choose from. Expansion and obliteration. Destroy everything. Or win it in the courts. As we reported to you all yesterday in a live show, the Big Ten, as we have reported for weeks, have done a lot of work on the quick strike. The quick strike they are hoping they do not have to use. The Big Ten is most definitely leaning towards the road next to them. Win it in the courts if this bill should pass. Now again, there's a couple of exceptions to that. One, if Notre Dame calls the Big Ten out of the blue, the Big Ten is going to move. The other exception of that is, well, the man on the left of the Big Ten guy who is holding a cane, the SEC. If the Southeastern Conference chooses expansion and obliteration, well, the Big Ten's going to have to act. But those are your 3 choices, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we're going to go through the Matt Hayes article. Edward the Auburn Tiger, I thank you for sending that to me. I saw it at 6:30 this morning or whatever, and we've been preparing for it. We're going to go over it. Matt Hayes only goes through 2 of these roads. But there definitely is 3 roads here. All due respect to Matt Hayes. There are 3 roads to choose. The middle road is not one to be trusted. The first road, there's a whole lot of risk to that. The third road, there's a whole lot of risk to that. That's why this is the Big Ten and SEC's defining moment. Because none of these roads have been traveled. I mean, expansion and obliteration means expansion going at least partial silo or extreme silo. That road hasn't been traveled down, ladies and gentlemen. And to have to win it in the courts, to say, no, this bill you cannot determine our membership. We are a private, nonprofit organization. No, you cannot tell us we have to absolutely pool our rights together with everybody else. Expansion and obliteration. Congress agrees on sovereignty or win it in the courts. There are three choices. This is a defining moment for the SEC and the Big Ten. Because even if this bill doesn't pass this go around, it is going to come back up again. It's going to come back up next year. And it's going to come back up with a different Senate and a different House. Nobody in the SEC and the Big Ten believes that this will be the last attempt. But here's the kicker. And we are going to talk about it in the Matt Hayes' article. There are lots of reasons, and I went through the reasons on yesterday's live show. Everything being even, everything being knowable, that the Big Ten, if they could choose, they would wait on their expansion. They would wait on their expansion and obliteration. Now again, 99.999% of the PATC family members completely understand our reporting. They know we were talking about the preparation of the quick strike. And then Ross Dellinger's article came out and confirmed our reporting. 99.99% of the PATC family understands that even though the Big Ten is preparing and the SEC is preparing, nobody on PATC, and I'm the only one in front of the microphone, I have never reported that quickly this is going to happen, that expansion was going to happen. Every day I've said nothing imminent, nothing done, nothing signed, sealed, and delivered, no wink, wink, no nod, nod. It's still true today. Preparing for the quick strike, going well beyond your schedule. That's a big story, but it's not the story of it's happening tomorrow or it's happening the next day. We have said we don't believe anything is operational, and if it is, we were wrong. So for the morons out there who can't help themselves lie about this channel, who said we've been saying it's quickly going to happen. We've never said that. We accurately reported that the quick strike has been prepared. The schools know that. The schools in the ACC know that. And everybody in the Big Ten and SEC know that. The chatter behind the curtain knows that. Ross Dellinger's reporting, I'm sorry, was 100% accurate. I apologize if you are offended that PATC accurately gave people the peek around the corner. But there are lots of reasons why, if everything being even, no, the Big Ten does not want to act right now. One of the reasons that I failed to bring up yesterday, and I'll take the big L on this, and I apologize. Another reason why the Big Ten would rather, and possibly the SEC, although the SEC is more willing to expand and obliterate in this time frame, is there is a lot of work to be done. If you are going to expand and obliterate, there is this one key component that you're going to have to figure out before you do that. There is that one key component that you're going to have to figure out as a conference that you've never had to figure out before. If the Southeastern Conference is going to stick everybody in the eye, if they are going to choose the road of expansion and obliteration to go from 16 to 18 schools or 16 to 20 schools, and the Big Ten goes to 16 or 18 to 20 schools, or 18 to 22 schools, or 18 to 24 schools. There is one key component that they're going to have to figure out that they've never had to figure out before in their previous expansions. I'm going to give you the tease here. I'm not going to give you the answer. We're going to talk about it in the back half of our monologue. It's a simple show today. We're doing the spotlight. The spotlight is on our 63rd team, the Louisville Cardinals. And then we're going to get into it. The three roads, SEC, Big Ten, defining moment, and that key important item that they've got to figure out before they do the expansion and obliteration. And it's another reason why the Big Ten would rather have this thing go out for another year. Delay it for another year. And the SEC may be thinking the same way, but the chatter behind the curtain believes, I believe to be true for other sources, that the SEC is more willing to do the expansion and obliteration, more than the Big Ten at this point. But there's one key component that both conferences are going to have to figure out. We'll get back to it in the back half of the monologue. I do want to thank everybody for coming on in. The Evil Badger, Ryan Willie, Cloak and Dagger, 30 months. My goodness, 30 months. Thank you, sir. Incredible kindness. From Evil Badger. Thank you, sir. You are knighted Cloak and Dagger once again. Evil Badger, Ryan Willie. Wisconsin officially announced the new athletic director today. Hopefully it works out well. For you, hopefully it works out, Evil Badger. For a Golden Gopher, hopefully it doesn't quite work out. But a surprising hire by the Wisconsin Badgers. I think it's a 5-year contract. So, very surprising. Thank you, Evil Badger. Thank you for becoming a member for 30 months. Holy smokes. Thank you, sir. Let's do the roll call. Let's get the roll call done. And then we'll get right into it. Big Ten SEC's defining moment. Mike is in the house. The LSU Tiger. Go Tigers. Roddy Richboard. The Spartan Anthony Carlson. Nothing is imminent unless said otherwise. Jerry's in the house. Thanks for coming on in. Jerry Gold Nose FSU Pirate. Al Woody. Mama Duck Clemson Tiger. Jeff Keyes. Bimba 75, 79. Greg the Gold should wear the chains like Mr. T. I do have the gold chains. They're big, thick ones. I did wear them last year. But the problem was, I think I only wore them twice. So barely any of you guys saw it. Because I only had like 2 winning weeks all year. But I do have the gold chains. I'm gonna have to get the dust off them. But Bimba 75, 79, I promise you, Mr. Wolverine, you're gonna be seeing the gold chains quite a bit here in the studio in 2026. Redemption Tour 2026. Thanks for coming on in. Morgan Freilich is in the house. Adam Rogue is here. Daniel Gorby is so hot in Minnesota. Greg decided to convert. No, Greg the Cooler. Taylor on the tubes is in the house. Kenneth Maynard. Pirate, Gator, Maynard, prayers for Siege. Oh, yeah, we talked about that. Chris Johnson, absolutely. I watched it. We talked about it. Praise up for Chris Johnson, his lovely wife, his kids, his family, all of his loved ones. Absolutely. Edward, the Auburn, Tiger, Utah Ute Stand is in the house. JBO714, John Charette is here. Friends call me Sean is in the house. Mohr Simmons, the Seminole win. Mohr Simmons, the best voice in PATC family. The notorious Sun Devil is in the house. CFB Plus, no, 1 and 3 are not the same thing. Nope, we'll go over it again. CFB Plus, thanks for coming on in. I appreciate it. Lego Gators is in the house. John Dry is here. The Cornhusker, Skaven, yes, Cranky Tiger. I think Cranky Tiger, you're one of our last, Indiana will not make the playoffs. Holy smokes, Cranky Tiger. Holy smokes. 5-point valuation. Cranky Tiger thinks he's going to win this thing. Cranky Tiger thinks he's going to be the first ever not PATC, the world. First ever college football, I do declare, world champion. Now, the rest of you are going to have to stand up against Cranky Tiger. You're going to have to defeat Cranky Tiger. But Cranky Tiger thinks he has this in the bag. Amy is in the house. The Almighty is here. Jade Price is in the house. Phil Sorensen, thanks for coming on in for us. And Big Ten Expanse at 32. He's got a Viking helmet on his avatar. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. MBM, the Oklahoma State Cowboy, is in the house. Grateful Trojan, you've got a friend. James Taylor, Big Ten and Notre Dame. Now, I'm not one to pat myself on the back, right? But I've already done a couple of James Taylor songs on PATC rendition, and I think if I did not hit it out of the park, I at least hit a double. And James Taylor kind of fits in my range, my northern Minnesota range. I think I might be able to pull that off, Grateful Trojan. Let me see what I can do. I'll do some vocalization later in the day. Don't worry, none of you have to listen to it. And I might be able to put that one out there. Thank you, Grateful Trojan. Woo! I appreciate it. AFKA is in the house. Texas Tech will go the way of the World Class Championship Wrestling. All right. Who else is in here? Who else is in the house? Culture Provocateur. That's not dust on the gold chain. That's frost. Okay. Wow. Unbelievable. I did not laugh at that joke. That was a cough. I would not laugh at a joke like that had that sharp of elbow at me. Now I don't blame Culture Provocateur. I just picked Colorado to come in last in the Big 12. So I don't blame Culture Provocateur for. That was a good one. Thank you, sir, or ma'am, or whatever. Culture Provocateur, thanks for coming on in. I appreciate it. Holy smokes. My goodness. A massive super chat from Rock Chalk Jayhawk Nation from Vox Quindaro. My goodness. Rest in peace, Kate Steinel, 2015, and may Almighty God bless you all. Vox Quindaro, what an incredible, generous super chat. My goodness. Yeah, rest in peace, Kate. And rest in peace, for all of your loved ones and family members in PATC country. Absolutely. And for those, my mother is in hospice right now, and God bless to all those who are feeling the weight of a family member soon to be leaving us. So, but thank you, Vox. Appreciate it. Rest in peace. I don't know who Kate is, but rest in peace. And God bless all of you. Absolutely. I sometimes forget that message. I should not forget that. Thank you, Vox Quindaro. Thank you very kindly, sir. Wow. Vox Quindaro, thank you for your kindness above all. Unbelievable. Thank you, sir. Wow. Very humble. Thank you, Vox. Rest in peace, Kate. Edward the Auburn Tiger. The SEC is taking the ball and going home. So Edward believes it's road number one. Road number one. MF 1968, $2 super chat. I appreciate that. And you are declaring that West Virginia makes the Big 12 championship. Okay, that's going to be, I don't know if anybody has made that prediction yet. If they have, I'd probably give it a 5-point valuation. 5 or 4. I'm going to have to look at the I can't tell you the valuation points right off the bat. 4 or 5, MF. But you're going to find out on tomorrow's show. We will book it in. So, MF, we are going to book that in for you. I very much appreciate it. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. I just want to make sure I get that booked in. Come on now. I need this to work. I need this to work. And of course it's not working. Of course it's not working. It would be something. Life would be a lot easier if I had the ability to do anything. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm a little slow. MF, you are booked in. Absolutely booked in. Thank you so much for becoming part of the I Do Declare World Championship. D5 Terps is in the house. Charlie Atwood is here. Jeremy Norick. I lost you, Jeremy. There you are. Jeremy Norick, you're on the Illini TED. Greg the Cold Front. Greg, I really could use Greg the Cold Front right now. About now, it's too hot. We're not going to get it, Illini TED. You're not going to get it. Nobody's going to get it. There ain't going to be no cool. There ain't going to be no frost. It's going to be Greg the Gold, Greg the Heater, all year long, all the way up to the national championship game. I am full of spit and vinegar. We're going to do this thing. Big Lubbock is in the house. Paramount Plus to buy Texas Tech. All right. Sounds good. Happy birthday, Evil Badger. I did not know it was Evil Badger's birthday. What am I missing here? I'm missing everything. Oh, I did not see that because I'm going through the roll call. Evil Badger, I'll be going out to celebrate this higher in my birthday. I'm old as dirt. I didn't know it was today. I knew it was coming up. You let me know it was coming up. Evil Badger, thank you for the $5 holler. I'll get you the other super chats here in a little bit and the gift in the incredible gift membership we just got. I do want to get to this roll call here because I'm going to miss a bunch of people if I do not. Evil Badger, congratulations, sir. Another trip around the sun for the Badger. Evil Badger, Ryan Willie, and he is so optimistic this year. Absolutely so optimistic. Frank Potter is in the house. Adam Rogue, I don't know if I mentioned Adam Rogue yet. John Dry, I apologize, John Dry, if I did not mention you. Breeze Frey, thanks for coming on in. The Architect is here. I got the keys, Keith Mohr. The Architect, Cal Bears, is in the house. Go Bears, Christopher Hooter. Go Silo, Christopher Hooter. MGC Sooner is in the house. Friends call me Sean. I'll get to your super chat in a moment. I appreciate it. Deadeye Yo is in the house. Stephen Clark is here. Man, a lot of people showing. This is an early show. An early show. King Frog is here. We sometimes have to do our Wednesday shows a little bit early. So, Flugar's a cappella performance of James Taylor's songs knocked Sweet Baby James off of all his wagons. I would agree with that. Look, you guys know I'm not one for patting myself on the back, you know. I'm not that type of guy. There's been a lot of bad performances on this show. I understand that. But once in a while, if I get the right song, if I get the right content, the right song, I can pull it off. And I think I can pull off another James Taylor song. Or I could be absolutely wrong. I could be absolutely wrong. Tumasta is in the house. Appreciate it. Azon the Kid is a here. Colin. I'm going to go with Colin unless you tell me differently, Kalen. Okay? But we're going to go with Colin. Howdy. Thanks for coming on in. I appreciate it. Amazing Blue. Marcus Williams. Andrew French, appreciate you coming on in. I'm all for the quick strike. Okay, let me, Preston from Greensboro, North Carolina, thanks. John Groh, thanks for coming on in. Appreciate it. Okay, let me go through a couple of super chats, very kind super chats early in the show, and a very kind gift memberships. Holy smokes. We got Friends Call Me Sean. If North Carolina is North Carolina, hold on, let's do this correctly. Friends Call Me Sean, super chat. Is North Carolina State still with North Carolina? If so, who's out? Florida State, Clemson, Virginia Tech? Great question, and of course, we do not know. None of my predictions have ever had the last two. We do it on April 9th. Predictions, not a report. Never had North Carolina State in the boat. Now, the Florida State Money Perch told us that the perception of Florida State is that North Carolina State is one who is preparing for a possible quick strike. So is North Carolina. So is Florida State. So is Clemson, and in the next email they mentioned Virginia Tech. But there probably is more, who knows? And of course there's Big Ten teams, Big Ten candidates that are preparing for it just in case it happens. So I don't know if now North Carolina State's future is directly tied to North Carolina in what would happen in that Board of Governors. When North Carolina, whenever the time is that North Carolina is going to go to the Board of Governors, they have to deliver a financial plan. And to tell the Board of Governors, if we change conference affiliation, this is how it's going to benefit our university, and this is how it's not going to hurt the other universities that the Board of Governors are responsible for. The main one for this particular subject is North Carolina State. So North Carolina is going to have to make that pitch. They're going to have to solve that problem. I don't know if it's going to be like a calimony situation. Remember, though, we got to remember this, and I'm guilty for forgetting this as well. The UCLA California situation, when they shared the same board, right? The state California board, and UCLA had made the announcement, and they went back and forth. Enough people on that board, and UCLA made the argument, enough people on that board said, look, if we change something now, change some realignment requirement, it's going to be ex facto, whatever that legal term is. In other words, the horse is already out of the barn. UCLA has already made this decision. So we're going to give them a calimony. We're going to tax them. Some money's going to have to go to the University of California, Berkeley. But this situation, the Board of Governors reacting to what happened in the city of Los Angeles, they went proactive on this. So I think at the very least, it's only logical. Of course, I don't know what's going to happen when they have the Board of Governors meeting, and eventually they're going to have that meeting. But it's logical to come to the conclusion, in my opinion, let me know how wrong I got it here, but I think logically is, at the very least, North Carolina is going to have to give to North Carolina State as much as UCLA is giving to the University of California, Berkeley. At least. But more likely, more. Because this was a proactive move. North Carolina is going to have to come up with something. Or North Carolina State is going to have to be North Carolina State is going to have to be taken care of somehow, some way. That might include P2 membership. Or maybe not. But the calimony, the Wolfpack money that's going to come to them, it's going to be substantial, in my opinion. I thank you for the $2 holler, friends. Call me Sean. I appreciate it so very much. We've got Mama Duck, Clemson Tiger. My goodness, what a gift. 5 gifted memberships. 5 gifted memberships from Mama Duck, Clemson Tiger. And I believe I have lost who those 5 people are. I do apologize. When you get an opportunity, please say thank you to Mama Duck, Clemson Tiger, that you have received a gift membership. Mama Duck, I am so humbled for all your support. I appreciate it very much. Your father did not like my last singing performance. He believes that I should be taking singing lessons. Make sure, Mama Duck, that your father your genius of a father, your 85-year-old father, listens to my next PATC rendition of a James Taylor song, I think maybe his opinion will change. Yes. Let's go. Let's go, Mama Duck Clemson Tiger. Thank you for the 5 gifted membership. Mama Duck, you and the 5 though that you gave generously, all are officially knighted. Cloak and Dagger, Cloak and Dagger. Quaking Tiger says, way to go, Mama Duck. I appreciate it, Mama Duck. I'm sorry, if I don't get to those memberships right away, I lose all of the names for whatever reason. But thank you, Mama Duck. I appreciate all your support. Thank you very much. And then we got Mohr Simmons. I'm going to get to this one right now because then I will lose the names who were gifted a membership. Mohr Simmons, 20 gifted memberships. Once again, Mohr Simmons, an incredible generosity. Unbelievable. Mama Duck, Clemson Tiger, Mohr Simmons, thank you so very much. Congo received a gift membership. KSU Father J, Laura Weiss, Texas Tech Red Raider, BUSA 95, Sukun, Customer Service, Mr. Brain, NC Fisher, Robellin, Fluffy Boy, Curtis D, Bacon, Daniel Jet, King Spleen, CW2, Ohio State, Chris Mikehead, Mr. Jelly Jungle, Gringo Billy, Troy 8302, and Solar Knoll, all were gifted a membership by Mohr Simmons. My goodness, all of you are knighted, Cloak and Dagger. Which that means is you can go to our library of episodes, watch all the episodes, including members only early peak Cloak and Dagger. Go ahead and give that a look. We did an early peak Cloak and Dagger member only episode a couple of days ago. I think it was a very important one. We covered it on a live show, but if you missed it, go back and watch our last early peak Cloak and Dagger episode. Thank you, Mohr Simmons. I appreciate the incredible support you have given this program throughout the years. Thank you for great phone calls. All that you do for this program, Mr. Mohr Simmons, I appreciate it. Very much appreciate it. Unbelievable. John Grove, $5 holler. We're going to get to our program here in a little bit. The Louisville Cardinals spotlight, and then a defining moment for the Big Ten SEC. John Grove. Greg, I'm going to take Texas for a Big 12 Media Days next week. Can I take your refrigerator? You don't want to do that, John Grove. Because if you take my refrigerator, you're going to have warm, spoiled food. And of course, you probably would have ham and cheese sandwiches in that refrigerator. Knowing Mr. John Grove, thank you for the $5 holler. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. We've got Hammer Hennison Super Chat. Excuse me, Hammer Hennison, if Greg escapes by going over 500, he should sing Goldfinger. It's not if, Hammer Hennison, it's not if. It's when. It's when Greg goes over 500. This year is the year, Redemption 206. And I'll think about it. I think that's a little bit more difficult song to sing, to be quite honest, Hammer Hennison. But I'll give it a shot. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your support, Hammer Hennison. All your great comments and questions and all that stuff. Thank you, Mr. Hennison. Appreciate it. All right. let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the Louisville Cardinal. We got the spotlight. School number, I did not put it up here, July 1st. School number 63. 63. And for those who are aware already, who watched our way too early order of finish prediction in every conference, you all know how much I love the Louisville Cardinals this year. You all know. I love the Louisville Cardinals this year. I love them as much as I love North Carolina State in 2024. Excuse me. Now, unfortunately for North Carolina State, when I fell in love with them, I was Greg the Cooler. But Louisville does not have to, you don't have to worry about it, because this year I'm Greg the Gold, and I am so in love. I am so in love with the Louisville Cardinals. So Cardinal fans out there, and I know we used to have quite a few of them. No worries. No worries at all. Let's start with the quarterback, Lincoln Kienholz. Now, again, yes, I get it. We don't know much about him. He hasn't played much. I get it. 12 games. Look, and I've ripped other quarterbacks who haven't played much. So, the fat guy from Minnesota is being inconsistent. Greg. Look, here's the thing. I don't even know if Lincoln Kienholz doesn't have to be great. He does not have to be great. Colin is a Card fan. All right, Colin. Don't worry about it, Colin. Don't worry about it. Because it's Greg the Gold. I love Louisville this year. 12 games. He's only played 12 games in about 3 years. 139 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interception, 78.6 completion percentage, 185.5. When he has played, he's looked outstanding. Have you guys ever watched Lincoln Kienholz play? You ever seen him in a spring game at Ohio State? This guy was an absolute athletic beast coming out of high school. He looks like, if you're going to make a movie on college football and you want him to be the quarterback, he looks like a college football quarterback. He is a basketball player. This guy's an athletic beast. And Jeff Brom, he's singing his praises. Now, Jeff Brom's offense, we've talked about it a lot here at Peek Around the Corner. It worked at Purdue. It should work at Louisville. It's more of a West Coast offense. No max protection. Quarterback's got to make a quick decision. But this year, Jeff Brom wants to have big, more explosive plays, and I don't blame him. They've been a little bit too, how do I say it? They've been a little bit too cute at Louisville. Lincoln Kienholz, I think, is the right guy at the right place. But I get it. Look, he brings no production with him. But now let's take a look at the absolute sensational backfield for your Louisville Cardinals. Isaac Brown, nicked up last year. 884 yards rushing in 9 games. 8.8 average per rush. The year before, he ran for almost 1,200 yards, 7.1 average per rush, with 11 touchdowns. If you're going to talk dark horse candidate for the Heisman, you've got to put Isaac Brown on that list. You've got to put him on that list. He gave the Louisville Cardinals a little bit of a how do I say this? He gave them a scare going in the portal. But Isaac Brown is again a Louisville Cardinal. Sensational running back. And he's going to be healthy. He's going to be behind Lincoln Kienholz. But that's not all. K1 Brown. The guy who came in, benefited basically from Isaac Brown being nicked up. 704 yards rushing. 704 yards rushing. 7.3 average per rush. 6 rushing touchdowns. Louisville is going to run it. They're going to run it. They're going to run it. They're going to run it again. They're going to run it again. They're going to run it again. They've got an athletic beast as a quarterback. They've got Isaac Brown, sensational. They got K1 Brown. That backfield. Now again, the wide receiver room might have taken a step back. That's why they went in the portal. They got somewhat of a prospect, LaWayne McCoy, Florida State. The Seminole people in the chat room might remember Mr. McCoy, decent wide receiver, had some production at Florida State. I think he caught around 20 balls last year. But the man that I'm putting in the spotlight is Trey Richardson. Trey Richardson, the transfer from the Vanderbilt Commodores. The receiver from Diego Pavia. Now he's going to Kienholz. 46 receptions, 806 yards receiving. And you remember what we said earlier in the spotlight? That Jeff Brom wants to have that offense be more explosive? Well, Trey Richardson is the man for that. 17.5 average per catch, 7 receiving touchdowns. Trey Richardson is no joke. K1 Brown is no joke. Isaac Brown is no joke. The offense is going to score under Jeff Brom. Defensively. Kind of interesting what Louisville did here. They repaired their secondary by going in the portal, not getting just one provable, productive Iowa Hawkeye secondary player, but they got 2 of them. They got Cohen Entringer. They got Tayon Holloway. So they got two Hawkeyes in the secondary. Now, they weren't big-time players, but they produced. They were good. People were going after them in the portal, and the Louisville Cardinals got them both. But it's the move in the portal that they did the year before. They got a guy that the Golden Gophers were going after heavily. A lot of people were going after him. Out of Coastal Carolina, Clev Lubin. And what did he do at Louisville last year? He absolutely dominated. He shredded the ACC. 13.5 tackle for losses, 8.5 sacks, 35 solo tackles from a defensive end who can go back, who can play the 3 technique. This guy had a first-team All-ACC selection. He's coming back next year. Woo! Again, longtime PATC family members, you know where I got Louisville this year. We're going to remind all of you here in a moment. The Louisville regular season again, boy, that September 19th game against SMU. Now, I know we've talked about, we're probably going to have a double watch party, right? Double watch party on Sunday night, September 6th. We'll be doing the Notre Dame-Wisconsin game. We'll be doing the Ole Miss-Louisville game. I get it. I love that game. I love that Louisville-Mississippi game. I love the Wisconsin. We're going to be doing both games. I love both games. We're going to be doing both games. We're going to learn a lot about Louisville, right? You know, they got that home game against Ole Miss. We just did the Ole Miss spotlight. K-Juan Lacey and Trinidad Chambliss, and I love Ole Miss. I got them in the playoffs. I've got Louisville just missing the playoffs. And that's the big reason why, because I've got them losing to Ole Miss at home. But we'll find out together if that happens. But that SMU game, that first ACC game at home, woo! That's going to be a big game for the Cardinals. Then they're at home against Wake Forest, on the road North Carolina State, at home against Florida State, on the road to Syracuse, at home against Stanford. More than likely, they're going to be favored in all those games right after that SMU game. At Georgia Tech, at North Carolina, at home, Pittsburgh. There's a lot. Look, they're not playing Miami. Louisville's not playing Miami, right? They're not playing Clemson. This schedule, and I love that they're playing Ole Miss first, and then SMU, because I think Louisville's going to be ready at the start of the season. There is no way that, look, I'm not going to change this. I'm 100% committed to the Louisville Cardinals coming in second place in reaching the ACC championship game. I am not moving that at all. No way. Miami number 1, Louisville number 2, SMU number 3, Clemson number 4, California Bears number 5, the Hokies 6, the Wolfpack 7, and the Cavaliers 8. We did a way too early order of finish prediction on the ACC and all the other conferences. I'm not changing this. Louisville Cardinals. Put it down in the comment section. Put it in the chat room. Let me know how wrong I got it once again, but I didn't get it wrong this time. I have fallen in love with the Cardinals. In this time, Greg the Cooler is not going to wreck them. This time, Greg the Gold is going to be celebrating with the Louisville Cardinals as they play the Miami Hurricanes in the ACC championship game, vying for a spot in the college football playoffs. Let me know. Let me know if I got it too good for the Cardinals. Let me know, but I don't think so. I do not think so at all. Okay, let's get to our big story. Big story of today. I want to thank Bill G, the incredible, edible Oklahoma State Cowboy, 5 gifted memberships. Richard Go Ducks, J Rod 112278, David Banash, Bobby Force, Salt Country, and Perp 4040 all received a gifted membership by the incredible, edible Bill G. When you get an opportunity, please say thank you to Bill G for his generosity. All of you are knighted. Cloak and Dagger College Football. Welcome to the family. Go to our library of episodes. Watch all the episodes, including members only early P Cloak and Dagger. We just dropped one a couple of days ago that still is really important. Go check it out. Bill G, Thank you once again, sir, for all of your months and years supporting this channel. I'm very humbled by all your support. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Bill G. Unbelievable. Another 5 gifted memberships from Bill G, giving people access to our early peak Cloak and Dagger episodes. I appreciate it. Hitter is, we talked about him. The true freshman running back, Michigan. He might be the phenomenal one this year. He could be the Jeremiah. I don't want to cross-pollinate Michigan and Ohio State, but I'm going to do it anyways. Hitter might be this year's Jeremiah Smith. He could be the one. He could be the one. Okay. We are going to go to our big friend over here, USA Today, Matt Hayes. Matt Hayes. Expansion clock is a ticking. Expansion clock is a ticking. Do the Big Ten and the SEC make the final move? It's hanging out there for all to see. A tantalizing, tempting checkmate expansion move for the Big Ten and the SEC. A quickly shrinking window of opportunity. And a final move to drastically change the college sports footprint before the Protect College Sports Act passes through Congress. Why, you ask? Would the Big Ten and the SEC expand again when it looks like they currently have it all? Because Congress, forever dysfunctional and routinely spiteful, is a loose cannon. Matt Hayes, USA Today. There's no telling what could happen over the next 3+ months of negotiations as the bill winds its way through an unwieldy legislative process. No telling what new unknown hides around the next corner. No telling just how much danger is truly there for the Big Ten and the SEC. We want what's best for the Big Ten for Michigan. Michigan President Domingo Grasso said at his recent Board of Regents meeting, further underscoring the us versus them reality of sports. We are not going to sacrifice the competitive advantage that we have built for more than a century. Translation, Matt Hayes, USA Today. We're not sharing our money. We're not sharing our television partner in its prime viewing windows. The same vision that's shared by 33 other presidents and chancellors of the Big Ten and the SEC. Heck, the SEC presidents have been telling anyone who will listen this offseason that the time to do their own thing has arrived. It's not a threat, it's reality. As we have reported here at Peek Around the Corner, has the Southeastern Conference pulled the trigger yet? No. Is there a chance they won't pull the trigger? Yes. But their silo talk is not an idle threat. They're doing serious work with it, and we're going to get to that one big, huge, important component with that here after the end of the article. The Protect College Sports Act could be passed as soon as early October. If the stars and the planets align and everyone in Congress plays nice, which of course almost never happens. Using that perfect world timeline, the Big Ten and the SEC have roughly 12 to 15 weeks to make an expansion move, and they have prepared for it. And avoid the one glaring line in the bill that prevents the Big Ten and the SEC from future expansion. So that leaves the Big Ten and the SEC with a defining decision. Make the proactive first move of expanding and obliterating the college landscape once and for all, or hope Congress allows the Big Ten and the SEC to separate free and clear from any pooling of the media rights. And we all know that's not going to happen. Okay, I'm going to take a pause in this article, just a small pause. We'll get back to it. If you look at Matt Hayes, he's saying there's two options. Expand and obliterate. Or hope, work with Congress to make sure that the Big Ten and the SEC holds on to the rights of not having to pool their media rights with everybody else. Well, unfortunately, nobody believes that is an option. That's why you see on our picture screen here, the SEC, we in the SEC not taking the middle road. And the Big Ten says the Big Ten agrees it's road 1 or it's 3. There's never going to be trust that Congress is not going to switch it from optional to mandatory of pooling the rights. The Big Ten and the SEC doesn't want any of that language in the bill. They're going to fight it in the courts after it passes, or they're going to expand and obliterate first and then fight it in the courts. Okay. Back to the article. Pooling of the media rights is the financial key to the entire bill. A chance for all 10 FBS conferences to go to market as one, and in theory, make twice or more than the current combined value of about $5 billion annually, including the college football playoff. The Big Ten and the SEC say there's no definitive data that shows a $10 billion payout or anything close. They see the 10 FBS conferences going to market as one and barely moving the needle. ESPN and Fox, the two heavy hitters in college sports, already have what they want. Why would they pay more? The other side of the argument is the unknown value and how much NBC, CBS, and streaming sites will pay for a piece of the pie. Remember, when you go to market as one, all games are shared with all television partners and all prime windows. The only way for the Big Ten and the SEC to forcefully eliminate the potential pooling of the rights is to strike. The quick strike is to strike proactively and expand again. An expansion moves that devastates another power conference, the ACC for this example. The Big East of the Pac-12 were eaten in the last two major moves. And that leaves the Big Ten and the SEC too big to fail. So Matt Hayes, in his opinion, and this is an opinion piece, the only way the Big Ten and the SEC forcefully eliminate the potential of pooling all the rights together is to expand and obliterate, destroy everything. Instead of protecting college sports, the SEC and the Big Ten will have to redefine it. And this is why we say this is a defining moment for the Big Ten and the SEC. Matt Hayes, USA Today. They leave, the SEC and the Big Ten, they leave and they form their own association and have their own rules. PATC money shot of the article and of today, and possibly every other day until this bill gets up to the Senate vote and begin to collectively bargain with players. We're going to take a pause right here. Remember when we started out this program, when I said there's one key component that the SEC and the Big Ten are going to have to figure out something. They're going to have to figure out this piece before they expand and obliterate, before they go silo. They're going to have to figure out this new relationship between the conference and the student athletes. It may not be collective bargaining in the way that we see it in the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, but there's got to be some new representation for the players in negotiations with the conference. This is the key component. The Southeastern Conference is working on it. The Big Ten is working on it. We've been reporting this. But I don't believe there is any way on this God's green earth that the SEC is going to do the quick strike and the Big Ten is going to do the quick strike without having this piece figured out. Something to where they can say, because they're going to get shredded. There's going to be forces coming after them. And the Big Ten and the SEC have to say this. Look, we are going to do the extra mile. We're going to do this collective bargain or whatever you want to call it. More representation to the student athlete. They have to have that arrow to shoot off. They have to have that firework to explode. They have to have that deflection. They have to have that cover. They have to have that shield. For them to expand and obliterate, to change, to define the SEC and the Big Ten, that piece has got to be figured out, and it's got to become operational in a quick matter of time. It's another reason why the Big Ten would rather have this be delayed somewhat, if it can happen. The Big Ten is hoping that this bill crashes in the House quickly. Like, there is no mystery over it. It won't happen. But right now, we do not have that in the Big Ten and SEC. That's why, as we accurately reported, they've been preparing for the quick strike. It is definitely on the table. The SEC is probably more willing. It's going to be more easy for them. They're more motivated. It's more easy for them to go in the operational phase of it. But again, this piece right here, and it ain't going to be the collective bargain that we know in the professional sport leagues, but some sort of collective bargain, some sort of representation. That piece has to be in it. Matt Hayes is absolutely 100% correct. That piece has to be part of it. How it looks, I have no idea. That piece has to be part of it. And that's why we know that the Southeastern Conference of the Big Ten is taking the partial silo or the extreme silo. They're taking it seriously because they're working on this as a conference-wide, some sort of representation for their student athletes. Not the 20,000 billion athletes across Division I, across FBS, but their athletes in their conference. Back to the Matt Hayes article. Once that move is executed, the Protect College Sports Act is dead in the water, according to Matt Hayes. According to Matt Hayes, just the act of expansion, obliteration, collective bargaining, that's going to kill everything. The Protect College Sports Act is dead in the water. The tedious bipartisanship agreement will fall apart when collective bargaining enters the equation. Again, that collective bargaining piece, however that looks like, that is the piece that is so vitally important. That piece is the SEC and the Big Ten. They're working on it. But that also leaves the two super conferences with a you break it, you fix it model. A collective bargaining model they're not exactly sold on in their collective lap. Well, they're going to have to figure it out. If that or allow Congress to push them in a corner and force the pooling media rights, like it or not. This ridiculous decision must be made in a matter of weeks by two diametrically different conferences. And yes, they are completely different from one another. There ain't going to be no Super League with these two conferences. There could be two super conferences, but there ain't going to be no Super League. There's not going to be any merger. These conferences are completely diametrically different from each other. This ridiculous decision must be made in a matter of weeks by two diametrically different conferences that can't even agree on college football playoff expansion, much less the final expansion of college sports. The easy move is for the Big Ten and the SEC to sit back and hope Congress blows it again. But for the past 5 years of the NIL era, the presidents and the chancellors of the Big Ten and the SEC have sat back and reacted to every unintended consequence that dug the hole that much deeper, instead of executing the final move on the chessboard. Woo! Matt Hayes, USA Today. I think there's a lot of important voices in both the SEC and the Big Ten that we have to listen to. But I'm just going to tell you from a peek around the corner perspective. In the Southeastern Conference, who is the most motivated, which is the closest to operational phase, which has the ability to pull this off quicker. The voice that we're listening to in the Southeastern Conference is the Chancellor of Tennessee, Donde Plowman. She is the one that is trying to get everybody together in the Southeastern Conference and lay down this plan of collective bargaining. You will probably have to end up calling it a different word, different label, because it's not going to look like the NBA or the NFL. But some sort of, and we're just going to call it collective bargaining for now, but we're going to have to come up with a different term. It is the Chancellor of Tennessee. It's the President of Oklahoma. They're going to be leading this in the Southeastern Conference. The Big Ten has more voices in regards to the collective bargaining piece. There's a lot of voices, a lot of stuff that is happening in the Big Ten. We know that they're working on it. We already did a live show. We already did an early peek cloak and dagger. We already did a Big Ten blueprint. You can go back to our library of episodes and live shows and watch all of that. We know all this is happening. I have no idea what this is going to look like. But you're not going to expand and obliterate. You're not going to do this thing. You're not going to do this, go to the uncharted waters You're not going to do all this without having that piece figured out. You got to have that piece figured out. You got to have total alignment in your conference, or it's not going to happen. And once again, I have put this phrase up. It's my favorite phrase I put up every once in a while. A ship in the harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are built for. John A. Shedd, 1928. The SEC and the Big Ten, if they're going to pull this off, they're going to have to act differently than they have in many, many, many years. This is not a simple expansion. Expanding the conference, okay, but this is different. If you're going to expand now with the quick strike, it's got to be the kill shot. You've got to kill the ability for Congress to come in. You've got to separate from yourself from the NCAA, at least partially, if not entirely, and you've got to have the collective bargaining. You've got to have the relationship between the conference and the student athletes in your conference. That relationship has to be different than ever before. Period. Is the Southeastern Conference ready to do that today? Is the Big Ten ready to do that today? We don't believe they are. We've been saying this for 3 years. Nothing is done. Nothing is imminent. Nothing is done. Nothing is settled. But you're going to want that piece to be figured out. And if you're going to have that piece figured out, the schools, the expansion, the new schools that are coming in, they're going to have to be 100% buy-in on that new, whatever it looks like. The school is going to have to approve. They're going to have to say, okay, we'll do that. We'll give the student athlete a certain percentage of this, whatever. They might have a piece in the Big Ten enterprises. We don't, whatever the Big Ten enterprise is going to look like. We don't know. But we know there's a lot of things being worked out. And these conferences are looking more internally instead of having this broad agreement with all these conferences that they can't get any codification from Congress. They can't get any legitimacy from the courts. All right, we're going to open up the phone lines. Opening up the phone lines. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. No, working too hard. Please, please, I'm not working too hard. I'm not working too hard. We just got going here. We just got going. All right. Hold on, everybody. Hold on, everybody. Illini Ted, let me know. Thank you, Illini Ted. I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. Thank you very much. We do have the names of those that were gifted a membership by the incredible generosity of Mama Duck Clemson Tiger. Brasco Rascal, Ryan Dooley, ALCCCCCCC, Irvin Williams, and B. Maston all received a gift membership from Mama Duck Clemson Tiger. When you get an opportunity, please say thank you to Mama Duck. And thank you very much, Illini Ted. I appreciate it. Thank you. And Mama Duck, thanks once again for your generosity. I appreciate it. All right. Let's go to your phone calls. Let's go to your phone calls. 763-260-1333. 763-260-1333. Thank you, Architect. Appreciate it. Appreciate the kind words. Another informational show, Greg. Good work. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Greg, are you taking a vacation this summer? We usually take one the first week of August. I don't think we're taking one this year. Too busy, too many things going on. But we'll see. We'll see. What was that? The little general yelled something at me. What was that, honey?
Hey, buddy, it's our anniversary.
Oh, yeah. I think that, now I'm in trouble. John Uzi. Now I'm in trouble. It is our anniversary on July 27th. I thought, when I hear vacation, I'm thinking like a week off. Yeah, we're going to do something. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do something. That's my answer from the little general. That is from, oh man, Flugs, what are you doing? Whatever the little general wants to do, D5 Terps, whatever the little general wants to do. That's my answer. That is my answer. Mama Duck, there will be a vacation. Yes, there will be. All right, how about somebody call in and get me off the hook here? Somebody call in here. If not, that's fine. We've been on the air for an hour and 26 minutes. I do want to say a special thank you for those who so incredibly generous with this program, always incredibly generous. Eva Badger, thank you so very much. Friends call me Sean. MF 1968. Vox Quindaro, massive super chat.
From Dave in Tampa.
I'm sorry, who is this?
This is Dave in Tampa.
Okay, can you hold on for just one moment, please?
Yep.
I appreciate it. I just want to finish off saying thanks to everybody who has donated this program. Vox Quindaro, massive super chat. Thank you, Rock Chalk Jayhawk. My goodness. Mama Duck, Clemson Tiger, John Grove, Hammer Hennison, the incredible, edible Oklahoma State Cowboy, Bill G, and Buckeye Greg. July 27th is the anniversary of Colorado's announcement. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You are correct. Thank you for the $5 holler, Buckeye Greg. I appreciate your support once again. Is this Dave from Tampa? Is that true? Is that it?
That is correct.
Dave from Tampa, thank you for your patience. The floor is yours.
Brother, you said you need a lifeline. I'm here for you.
Yeah. Look, she's only coming in the studio maybe 3 times in 4 years. That was one of the times. When she heard that I don't think we're taking a vacation, she bolted in here and she gave me that look. You know that look. So.
Oh, brother, I know the look.
Yeah.
That's why I called. I'm like, this man needs help.
Yeah.
This man needs help.
Woo!
Dude, you can't. No, you got to go take a vacation, brother.
Yeah.
Everybody deserves a vacation. You're working your tail off.
Yeah.
Thanks for all the information that you're putting out there. Found your channel a little while back, and first time calling in, obviously, and anything college football expansion, I'm all about it. I'm here for it. Let's do this thing, and I think it's just time. The NCAA is not interested. They're not interested in ruling over college football. They're not interested. They've done everything but come out and tell you directly that they're not interested in doing it. You can go back and look at Sorsby, when all that came down with Sorsby, and they got the judge in Texas to say he could play. They didn't drop another we're gonna take this to courts. You can't do this. They didn't even issue a flippin' statement about it. Not even a statement about it, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
That tells you that they don't want it. They didn't do anything to the team up north. I'm a Buckeye, by the way. Big Ten guy.
Yeah.
Okay. They didn't do anything to Michigan for cheating for 3 years. Did nothing. They didn't even take their wins. Okay?
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to get sued. Okay?
Yeah.
If you got the money, they ain't going to do nothing. They're going to sit. They're going to tuck their tail and they're going to run. So go do whatever you're going to do, SEC and Big Ten. Go do whatever you want to do, and forget the NCAA because they ain't going to do nothing. Just threaten to sue them into oblivion, and they'll turn and walk away because they're a bunch of cowards. They'd rather flex their muscle on someone like Memphis softball and obliterate them than deal with real problems, real violations in sports. They don't want to deal with college football, and everybody knows Congress is somehow, some way, they're going to screw this up. There's no way they can't even balance our budget. They can't even balance our budget. They're going to fix college football? No, they're not. They're not going to fix anything. And they're not. They haven't taken up. You think they care about college football? Trust me. Most of them don't know the difference between a touchdown and a grand slam. Okay.
Yeah.
They don't know anything. This bill is so horribly written, right? Obviously, nobody up there wrote this bill. I think the rumors, I believe, are true about Cody Campbell wrote this thing, and it's even if they pass this thing, it's going to go directly to the Supreme Court. The SEC and the Big Ten are going to file an injunction. This thing's going to end up in front of the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court's going to say, "What are you doing here? You cannot tell somebody or a group that they can't associate with each other." That's that's right there in the First Amendment, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's already, they've already the NCAA's told you without saying as much they don't want to deal with this. I think Congress is telling you the exact same thing. They really don't want to do it. They tried something. They got sued. And the same thing's going to happen, and they know it. They know it. They know how this works. Mm-hmm. And the only reason why Congress even took this up is because they don't want to give the president the votes. They don't want to vote on the Save America Act. That's exactly why they took this thing up. It's exactly why they took this thing up. All of a sudden, they wanted to save college football out of the clear blue. They wanted to save college football out of the clear blue, out of the good of their hearts up there in D.C., looking out for us. Sounds like rich man in Richmond again to me, what it sounds like. But, I digress, brother.
Yeah.
I think good Lord, just go ahead and pull that thread on the ACC sweater and unravel this thing. And I said this to Bomber last night. It's anybody. I'm sorry, Big 12 fans, you're not going to survive this. If you think that the ACC is going to get dismantled and somehow the Big 12 survives this, that's not going to happen. First off, you're not even making enough money. You're not even making enough money as a conference to survive as a whole. You can, clutch your pearls and hang on to hope, and hope is good, but there's a thing called reality. You're not making that kind of money, and everybody wants regionals back in sports, right? Jay, I'd love for it to all remain the same, right? As it was when I was young.
Yeah.
I'm 57, and it's not going back to that, guys. You can wish and want all you want. It is not going back. That era is over. Mm-hmm. The sooner you realize that, it's easier going to be to move on, and the more things change, the more they stay the same. So if you go to a 2-conference system, let them hack this stuff up. The SEC is going to end up with the majority of those southern schools. North Carolina State. They'll probably get Virginia Tech, West Virginia, Louisville. I don't know if they'll get. I don't know if they'll want. I don't think, from what I understand from what you've said and Mohr have both said that, and I just common sense wise, I think Georgia Tech will end up in the Big Ten. I don't think they'll go back to the SEC. I don't think they want anything to do with that. And the Big Ten needs to get somewhere, and they need to get some places in the South. They need to get in Atlanta. They get in Miami. I live in Tampa, and let me tell you what, man. From I see license plates and stuff all the time, every day around here, and Florida State's a huge brand. The 2 largest brands in the state are Florida State and Miami. I see more of that stuff their stuff than I do Florida stuff. Mm-hmm. Florida are typical SEC fans, all right? A typical SEC fan, all right, if their school's doing well, you'll see their stuff. If they're not doing well, you'll hardly see any of it. You'll hardly see any of their stuff, especially here in Florida. I lived in Tennessee and some other places, but let's just do this. Let's just do it. Let's get it over with. And the NCAA is not interested in doing this. Just go ahead and do it. They're not that far off. I don't believe they're that far off. They want to do something. You can come to agreement. I think if you capped everything. I think $22 million is probably plenty of money for college football, and then maybe 20 million or whatever for the rest of the sports. Because not everybody's Ohio State, man. Mm-hmm. Not everybody's got the roster that we're going to have, or Texas, or A&M. They're not going to have that kind of roster, even though I really hate calling them A&M. I usually call them Asper SandU, just because I think it's the biggest joke. Their biggest joke in college football, man, is that they haven't done anything since 1938. I'm sick of hearing about Asper SandU every preseason, that they're going to do this and do that. That's like Oregon. You know what, Oregon? Show me something. Your 2 biggest wins in your program history are beating Ohio State. Your 2 biggest wins. I want to hear about what you're going to be until you've done it, and you haven't done it yet. And like I said, as for saying you haven't done anything since 1938. So I don't even know if they even have a major win since then. Beating Texas. Okay, you couldn't win the Big 12. You couldn't hardly win the Southwest Conference. Couldn't hardly ever win. I don't know if they ever did win the Big 12 when they were in there. I doubt if they'll ever win the freaking SEC. It could happen, but flying pigs, fire-breathing pigs could fly out of my butt in the next 5 minutes. But I don't think it's going to happen.
Yep.
So, but let's just do this, man. Let's just get it on, and forget Congress. Just go ahead and do it, and take who you're going to take. And I think taking 24 teams each, honestly, I don't think that gets you to where you need to be with expansion. I think you got to go at least 32 with each league.
Woo!
I think you got to go 32, maybe even 34.
Well, I think the problem with that is then you are no longer. Then you, I think you might lose the ability to win your court cases because you might gain market power. But anyway, I do appreciate it, Dave from Tampa. We're going to roll on to the next caller. I love your passion. Please call again, sir. Please.
Absolutely. Hey, brother, go start figuring out what you're going to do for vacation. Don't bring that smoke. Don't bring that kind of smoke to yourself.
Got it. Thank you, sir.
All right, thanks. Thanks for taking my call. Bye.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Dave from Tampa. Excellent.
Evil Badger.
Evil Badger, happy birthday, and can you hold on for a moment, please?
Yes.
I appreciate it. I apologize to do this on your big day. I just want to hold on one. Just hold on 1 second here. 1 second, please. Everybody, hang on. All right. I apologize, Ryan Willie. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. I did see that Jet Harrison committed to the Buckeyes today. Jet is the younger brother of NFL wide receiver Marvin Harrison. And, of course, the son of the great Harrison football player. So the Buckeyes got another Harrison on their team. But anyways, go ahead, Ryan Willie. The floor is yours.
Hey, Greg. Thanks for taking my call. The PCSA debate that's going on right now.
Yeah.
Nathan thinks that it won't even get to a vote in the Senate. He thinks it won't even pass through the House. I don't hold that same theory as far as the bill goes. Like I said before, I fear that the bill is going to pass and it will be held up in court. So the Congress have to move now to try to kill the bill. In my opinion.
The thing is, if it does get scheduled, that means that it's a good indication. It's not foolproof, but it's an indication that they believe they have the votes to pass it. Okay? So the active scheduling...
To the Senate or the House?
What was that?
To the Senate or the House?
I'm talking about the Senate right now.
Okay.
If they schedule it in the Senate, that is an indication that they have the votes to pass it. It's not 100%, but they feel that they got a really good shot at passing it. And so if it gets scheduled to vote, the chalk is probably that it will pass. And the House is not close to having the House support, but it becomes a great mystery on what will happen next. There's always the potential. Here is the component that we don't often talk about enough, and that's my fault. But President Trump basically he's going to sign anything that gets on his table. A bipartisan bill protecting college sports, he's going to sign it. So when it goes to the House, and even though most of the Republicans won't vote for it, or the Black Caucus ain't going to vote for it, or whoever else is not going to vote for it, because Trump wants it so bad, they might attach this thing to something that has to pass, or oh, the majority of the Republicans want Pat, or whatever. It becomes an unknown, very dangerous game if this thing goes to the House. Even if you did a straw poll and you knew that you had 240 votes against this thing versus whatever, 180, 75 votes for it. Just the thought that this thing could sneak in on some other bill and have it all pass. And again, the Southeastern Conference, and this is the dangerous part of this, Ryan Willie. There's logic. There's the math. That's on one side, where the SEC and the Big Ten are counting the votes. They're whipping the votes against the bill. But then there's this other side. There is this emotional side. There is this itchy finger side. There is this side that is being motivated by fear. That side is the side where the SEC could pull the trigger and the Big Ten could pull the trigger. Because just the fear of this thing going past the House and then quickly going to the president's desk and having him sign it. So I get that some people are saying it ain't going to pass, 15% it's going to pass, 15% it's not. You know, everybody has their logical, really good explanations. But if this thing gets on the Senate floor, if it passes, man, oh man, they're going to be, that itchy finger could pull the trigger, especially in Southeastern Conference country. Go ahead, sir.
And that's why I think the streamers and the networks are going to have the advantage. I agree with you about that. I just wish that the government would stay out of this altogether. And it goes back to, I can't remember it right now, but it goes back to a famous quote that Reagan had back in when he was president about the government. I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that quote?
Yep.
That's words that you don't really want to hear. Because I think it'll make things even worse after the bill passes. It's not. If the government gets involved, it's just going to destroy college sports altogether, in my opinion. But that's all I had for you, and thanks for the birthday wish.
Yeah, you got it, buddy. I appreciate you, sir. I appreciate your friendship.
Right.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right, thanks for taking my call.
You got it, buddy.
All right.
Ryan
Bye.
Willie. Ryan Willie, the best evil badger on the planet. Thank you, sir. Great job. And by the way, when I was going over thanks for everybody for their incredible donations, I did not include Morris Simmons in that. Shame on me. Thank you, Mr. Morris Simmons. Thank you so very much for your massive, massive gift membership. Thank you, sir. I know I said it when you did. I know I said thank you, but when I was going through the list of thanking people, I did not get Mr. The legendary, the man, the myth, the legend, Florida State Seminole win, Morris Simmons. Thank you, Morris Simmons. I appreciate it. My bad. You were on the last of the list, and I got through it, and then your name was there, but the top, we had a caller, so my apologies, Mr. Morris Simmons. All right, we've been on the air for an hour and 40 minutes. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. We've been on the air for an hour and 48 minutes. I think we're going to lock it up because, again, we may have to come on live later again tonight. So, buckle up, brace for impact, keep your head on a swivel. Please subscribe and ring that notification bell. Make sure you are notified if we have to come on live later again today. Follow us at Flog Empire on X. You see it in the ticker at the bottom of the screen. Again, we've talked about it. It's a defining time for the Big Ten and the SEC. Even if the bill doesn't get brought to the Senate floor, eventually the forces that want to do this are going to try it again. So what is the Big Ten and the SEC's options? Try to get something passed in Congress that does a lot of things, codifies the House settlement, but does not tamper with the sovereignty of the conferences or expansion and obliteration, or keep everything the way it is, wait on expansion, wait on that silo, have this bill pass the House, and then attack it in the courts. Because I can tell you the Big Ten believes this would not hold up. If you took away the ability to a private nonprofit organization to choose their own membership, the Big Ten thinks they would win this in court. We'll see what happens here. The SEC and the Big Ten both have prepared for the quick strike. Both have done the work. Both are working on that important component of some sort of collective bargaining with the student athletes before they expand and obliterate. A very important component. So buckle up. Hope you stick with us here at Peek Around the Corner as we give you the best peek around the corner in college football in the business. I appreciate you all joining us. I really do. And until next time, from all of us at PATC, to all of you, yes, I'm going to take the little general on a vacation. From all of us to all of you, please, you all take great care of each other. And as always, family, God, Golden Gophers.